To the Bone is directed and written by Marti Noxon and stars Lily Collins as Ellen, a young girl who is dealing with severe anorexia. She agrees to a radical form of treatment where she goes to a house with other people who are suffering from various eating disorders, and their primary physician is Keanu Reeves. Now, can you imagine anyone on this planet that you'd want to make you feel better more than Keanu Reeves? I can't. This film's out on Netflix now, and I watched it tonight, and I was riveted by scene 1. This film pulls no punches. It's a bleak, dark, sometimes very disturbing movie about eating disorders and what it can do to someone psychologically and physically, but also what it can do to someone's family and anyone who cares about that individual. It's about the struggle that comes with any eating disorder, but primarily anorexia, which is what Lily Collins' character Ellen is dealing with. She doesn't want to eat. She doesn't even want to bite into food, let alone swallow it. She is repulsed by the idea of ingesting anything that contains calories. And this isn't something that's, corny. I've actually read some critics' reviews after seeing the film that describe the plot as hokey or corny. I've known people with very severe eating disorders, and there's nothing corny about it. And this film is highly accurate at its portrayal of what someone can go through. I am very impressed with Lily Collins' work in this movie. Her performance is definitely a standout. She clearly lost quite a bit of weight for the role, but it's not just the weight loss that's a standout, the look of the character. She inhabited the character beautifully, and her performance is one that is very guarded, which is something that people who go through things like this can sometimes develop, that mentality where you don't touch me, I'm closed to you, leave me alone. And that's something that she really portrayed so well, and she shines in this movie, and I was very impressed with her work. And Keanu Reeves also is hitting a really good note in this film. His doctor is highly entertaining. He's not the kind of guy that just walks in and goes, "How you feeling today?" "Oh, good. Well, pick yourself up and have a nice day. Here's a prescription for something." He will look you in the eye and say, "Fuck those thoughts that you're feeling." And he'll literally say that. He'll be like, "Fuck the thoughts that you're thinking right now that make you not want to eat." He is a very entertaining character, and I thought he was really well written, and he did a good job in the movie too. There's also a young guy named Luke at this house. He is played by Alex Sharp. This character was once a dancer who injured his leg and then had a really hard time eating after that. He basically tortured himself mentally, and now here he is trying to gain the weight back. I thought he was a revelation in this movie. He reminded me in a very strange way of a young Hugh Grant. I thought he was very charming, and I liked his performance quite a bit. And it took a while for me to appreciate his character. The first few scenes, I was like, ooh, this guy might be a little too much. But he really grew on me, and I thought that his character had a really nice arc. This movie also features work from Lili Taylor, who I think is one of the most underrated actresses working. I've never really seen anyone talk about her, really, and she's fantastic in everything. And she's great here once again as Ellen's biological mother. There is a crushing scene in the third act of this movie near the end that just flattened me. It was so good, and on paper, it could have gone so wrong. And it just hit the right note, and it leveled me emotionally. The acting is fabulous. It's well written. It has intriguing characters. There's some moments towards the end that didn't quite jive with me, where the movie gets a little transcendental. That's my best way to describe it. And I was just kind of like, okay, we're getting a little theatrical here. Beyond that, I was really impressed with this movie. I think it's a film that traverses subjects that are difficult to talk about very carefully, but it doesn't try to hide anything, and it certainly isn't politically correct. And that's something I loved. Characters in this movie say words or phrases that are considered now inappropriate. People are spoken to very rudely, and no one comes out saying, "Hey, you can't say that." This movie has certain phrases, and people say and do certain things that would be considered inappropriate, and they just do it. These are a bunch of characters in a really low point in their lives. They're not sure if they're even going to be alive next week. And they no longer care about things like that. And it also, as a viewer, put me in a place where I felt their pain. And that's all due to excellent writing and great performances. I'm going to give To the Bone an A-. It's on Netflix now. I check it out, at least for the performances. I also want to thank Jason Taylor, one of my viewers. He sent me this. Now, I met Colin Trevorrow. I got a chance to interview him, and good old Jason, remember that, and had a chance to meet Colin. And he actually printed this out for me and got Colin's autograph on it for me. And this was a surprise he sent me in my P.O. box. You're an amazing viewer, and I just want to say thank you so much for that. That was really, really sweet of you. That really brought a smile to my face, and my wife's, my face, both of our faces. We were just like, oh my God, that's just too nice. Thank you so much. Guys, you are the best. And as always, if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.